HTML block level and inline elements. So let's start from here. A block level element, one of the things we used to know them is once you use them, they will enter the next line. They enter the next line. While the inline, you can actually make use of inline elements within another element without that element going to the next line. So let's do it and see what we're saying. So for instance, now let's say um hash1 is a block level element. Anything within here is a block level. Let's say hello. Okay, let's say John. John is how many? Okay, let's say John is 20 years old. 20 years. 20 years old. 20 years old. Now let's refresh our. Okay, John is 20 years old. This is a HTML block level language, block level element. So assuming we want to target, we want to give years a separate design or a separate color or a background color. We cannot do it with, let's say hash1. Let's say okay, let's do it. Let me do it sequentially. Let's say another hash1. Say hash1. Say hash1. Okay. I want to grab this years, Control X, and then put it in Control V. You can see. Okay. You can see. It just split the line. It just take this year out and then push it to the next line. Even the old. Okay, this thing is not seen old as anything. Let's grab this old inclusive, Control X, and put it inside this tag. You can see we used another block level element inside a block level element. What it does is just split the sentence into two. So just know that the block elements, once you open the tag and close the any content inside is in for sort of a block. So it will always start in a new line. It will always start in a new line. It will always start in a new line. Likewise, div. You can have even p tag, paragraph headers, all the headers from head 1 to head 6, inclusive of div. So let's do paragraph. Let's do p here. Let's put p here. Let's put p here. Let's change it to p, which is paragraph. So you can see still the sentence. This is for block level. So let's also put div here, div here, div, and here div. You can see still the sentence. It will always split everything, anything inside it will just move to the next line. So that is for block level elements. So when we talk about inline, let's light another thing here. So inside our inline, let's also create, you can use inline inside a block level element. Inline element inside a block level element. Let's leave this one as a point of reference. So let's leave it, let's leave this div. Okay, now let's leave it to the what we did initial hash1. Let's leave it as hash1. So all of them, it will look more bold and hash1. hash1. Okay, so this is for the first illustration on block elements. Okay, now let's do an inline element inside a block level element. So let's use this same head one, hash1. Okay, inside it, let's say uh let's still use the same sentence. John, okay, John is 20 years old. John is 20 years old. Let me put a break so we have enough space between them. And just BR for giving space. Okay, so we'll have space between these two in the output. Okay, now one of the inline elements we can use is a span. That's one we call span. We have linking element, which is a href. Okay, so let's start with a span. So let's say a span is an inline element. Let's say span supposed to, okay. Okay, let's grab this our years old now. Control X and paste it in Control V. So you can see now the sentence. Okay, let me give space. Okay, yeah. Let me give space here. Yeah, as you can see, this span now is inside this. This is an inline element inside the block level element. So we can actually target any word here with this span. We can just target only two. We can target 20. We can target Y. We can target E. We can target A. We can target R. Anything at all. So let's just, in this illustration, let's just target only years old. Assuming, let's just say that we want to give years old a separate color. So all we have to do, come inside this span and give it an attribute with its value. For instance, let's say I want to give this thing a color, or let's say let's start with a font. Let's give it a font size. Let me say style font size. Let me give it a font size. Let's say 2em. You can see we are just giving this attribute to span, and inside span contains this years old. So we can actually give another value to the style attributes. Let's say okay, let's say color. Let's say color. Let's say color. Let me give it let me see whether I can get this. Let me search through this columns. Okay, let me use this. Let me use purple. Purple is more better. I think purple is okay. It's purple. You can see the color is now purple. So we still in the same line. It's not moving to the next line, just the same line. So let's also give it a background color. Okay, let's call the background color, let's say black. You can see still in the same inline, so we can actually target this years old within the same block level element, which is hash1 when I put span. So let's do href, which is href. Let me copy this sentence here. Let me copy this sentence here. Copy it, bring it down. Okay, let me put the space in between them, BR, to space it out. Okay, now inside this place now, let's change this our span now to, okay, it's not actually necessary. Let's just okay, let's do it this way. Let's leave years old. Just create this attribute and all these things. Okay, okay, so now let's do a, which is short. You can see this. The reason why you are not seeing years old is because I have not added it yet. It's supposed to be within this the block of a tag. So let's say the word is years old. Yeah, years old. Years old. You can see it's not a clickable link. You can actually make it a clickable link. When you click on it, it will redirect you to a particular website, inline or whatever. So that is the simple explanation between inline elements and the block level elements. You cannot use block level inside it. You can actually use it, but definitely it is of no use because it will grab every of its contents and move it to the next line. But inline will still stay in that same block level line. The only difference is that it will add some attributes, some values. It can change the color of the particular target, the particular one you target, change the font size, change the background, a lot of things. So that is the difference. So you can, the best practice is that you use inline element inside a high level uh, uh, block element, which is this hash. You can actually use this a hash, this uh, uh, a tag hash left inside header one, which is the block level element. You can also use span inside it, but you cannot use hash one inside hash one. You can, no, but it's still of no use because you just grab the content and move to the next line. So that's the simple explanation for HTML block level elements and the inline elements. Thank you for watching.